So what's going on? So Joshua made a video and he very well pointed out that this hell realm isn't an accident, but it was designed from the get-go. It's like a game engine that is running here, and the background stories we are fed are like fabricated stories, or at least could be, very well could be fabricated stories. And this more or less is like the analogy fits best that it's like a AI animated game engine, and we are trapped inside this game, and we are like held captive in this thing, and we are more or less milked until we drop, until the casket drops, so to speak, and then the cycle repeats over. And not only that, the whole realm works like a perfectly perfect oiled machine, where each component has its place, and it's basically devouring itself, it's self-cannibalizing, and it's basically a cycle which runs infinite. It's an infinite loop, so to speak, and that's exactly what the Matrix showed us. And basically the architect was the program of the AI. It was a program which was designed to design the Matrix for the spirits which are held captive inside this computer program. And it's like Morpheus said, I don't remember the exact words, but it's basically like an interactive computer simulation, working via electric signals in the brain. And yeah, the human spirit, Neo, and all the humans are basically like batteries for the AI, for the machines. So they are trapped inside a program, and yeah, this program, this matrix we are kept in, according to the Matrix, is a mathematically perfect balanced equation from the point of view of the machine, of the machines, of the AI. Perfect equation. And yeah, with the purpose of milking the spirit, of powering the AI. It works basically, the spirit works basically like fuel for the AI, and which we in this scenario, in the hell realm scenario we find ourselves in, is very true. So we are forced to work for money. We age. We basically are hamsters in a wheel, day in and day out. And even if we are lucky to have some, I don't know, money and stuff, and even then we have to sustain our body, and we are the slave of the body. So basically the human form would be a big part of this matrix we are enslaved in. So yeah, this matrix is from point of view of the machine, of the AI, it would be a perfect balanced equation, a mathematically perfect balanced equation where everything is numbered. Everything, every human, and you can see this on your identity card, the it entity, which is your wrong idea, the wrong idea of yourself, which the machine gave to you. The ID, the wrong ID, the wrong idea. And you can see this everywhere, that you're just a number. And you are held captive by basically a machine, and you are like a human resource for the machine. So we see this perfectly reflected in the real Hell Realm scenario, what's said in the movie. And yeah, the whole purpose is, as I said, to power the AI. But there is one problem, and this is this causes some instability to the equation, and this is Neo. And Neo is like a metaphor for us, or for the spirit that's waking up from. I mean, it has been put to sleep and it's waking up. The spirit is waking up and it realizes that it's held as a prisoner or as a battery in a game, in a false world. So, in other words, we are the pain in the ass of the architect or of the AI. And in other words, the spirit which is waking up causes the instability of the prison, of the matrix. So me making this video is causing some trouble for the AI, and it becomes unstable. And yeah, this is also what the architect is saying. And yeah, the awakening spirit causes trouble, and to be exact, it's the unpredictability of the spirit which the AI can't handle, or the architect cannot handle. And because of that, yeah, we see us waking up. We wake up the spirit. We realize, okay, we are held in a false paradigm. We are held in basically in a self-cannibalizing machine. Something is wrong here. What's going on? So the anomaly, which is Neo, or the spirit who's waking up, is causing the architect some trouble. And it's the unpredictability of Neo, or the spirit, which is causing the architect some trouble, and which is a pain in the ass for the architect. And Neo realizes that it's the choice we can make, which the architect had to remain in the equation. So the free choice, not the free will, but the free choice, is the thing that keeps the matrix stable, because other versions failed, because people weren't given a choice, and then the matrix was collapsing very early on. And so the architect realized that he had to leave his prisoners a choice, and even on a subconscious level. And that's what we saw playing out during the corona thing. The choice to say no, the choice to don't play along with the lie, don't fall into the trap of the demiurge or the AI. We could say don't give into fear and the lies, and basically don't follow the meat suit, but follow the spirit, follow freedom. Make a choice for freedom, for truth. But 99% of all the people chose the lie. They played along. So they made a choice, and on a subconscious level, they knew that it was a lie, that it's all bullshit, but they played along. And that's what the architect is saying in this scene. And Neo realizes that the choice is the problem and his unpredictability, and that Neo doesn't play along with the lie. He plays in the team spirit, so to speak. And that's what he realizes, and pay close attention to the architect and also to the sound that is being played. And the choice is the architect's biggest problem. The anomaly is like taken care of. There are some measures in place to control the anomaly, but in the long run, the matrix becomes too unstable and it has to be rebooted, resetted. So let's take a listen at the scene.
Choice. The problem is choice.
The problem is choice, not free will, but free choice. That's what the architect had to remain open, the possibility to choose. And now, if you have listened closely, the sound, and he has this pencil in his fingers, just exactly like a syringe, just like that. And that's the choice we can make, and that's the ultimate choice, which I'm talking about on my channel a lot, which is the mark of the beast, which will probably come in form of some kind of vaccine. So I think we had a part 1 going down in 2020, but there will be a part 2 because we will in the end be excluded from commerce, and which means we can't prolong and sustain our body anymore, and the body is part of the lie and part of the prison, a big part of the prison. And that's why if we make the choice to go with truth, to go with the spirit, we will have to leave our prison suit behind, and we have to make the choice against the flesh, which 99% of the people or more will choose. They will choose the flesh. They will play along with the lie. They have the choice. They know it is all a lie, but they play along on a subconscious level because they are predictable, because they sleep. But the spirit in an awakened form is unpredictable, and yeah, it makes the right choice. So all that we saw since 2020 is like the Matrix in its final phase, trying to prolong the game, but as Schwab was already saying, the Great Reset began. The reset cycle of the Matrix is very close. So he came up with this book in 2020, like the Great Reset. And that's what this whole movie is about the Great Reset, which is inevitable. And at that point, at some point, right before the reset, there's no choice to be made. And this is the architect's problem. Because of this choice, he had to leave the choice open, the option of a choice. There are some spirits who can and will escape. And that's why it is said to go all in, when what I call the time loop, when the time loop closes, or when the AI short circuits. That's when we have to go all in for the heart, or for the spirit, for the truth, for the real life, not for this death machine life, for this false light, which is a lie. And yeah, that's the point when we have to leave the prison suit even behind. And if the prison suit dies, that's paradoxically the birth of the spirit, the real birth, when the spirit is set free and is returning home and is set free of this abomination. So yeah, choice is the problem. And that's what Neo realizes. And yeah, right in the moment, he has this syringe, and right in his hand, like a syringe, like this pencil, and he even looks down on it, like there is some kind of accent to his pencil in this scene. And listen to the sound again.
Choice. The problem is choice. The
Boom.
first matrix I designed was quite naturally perfect. It was a work of art, flawless.
Yeah, the first version collapsed because he didn't leave them choice. So yeah, that's what I try to point out in this video. This whole matrix is a setup. It is obviously designed, and it's designed by a malevolent force, I would say, who tries to enslave us perpetually and for infinity to sustain itself. And this matrix gave us a false identity. This matrix, this architect, this demiurge even gave us this material body, which is part of this machinery. And yeah, to leave this vicious circle, this psycho, we have to make a choice for the spirit, and that's the ultimate choice, which will, in my opinion, come very soon, and we will confront it with it very, very soon in the near future. And this would also be the infamous mark of the beast, we could say, because if you decide to take the mark of the beast, you choose your body. You make a statement that you believe in the body and in this whole system and its principles, and you like to be enslaved further. You like the supplies, you like to be supplied, you like to be used as a slave, abused as a slave, and so on, and you basically choose the lie. So you probably will be recycled back into the next cycle of the matrix. But if you want to be free, there is no outside savior, there is no Jesus figure. This whole Jesus story is, in my opinion, obviously a story about your potential liberation of the confines of the demiurge or the architect or El, the god of the Old Testament, the program. This is the way out of this confines, this prison. But you have to go the way for yourself. There is nobody who did it for you. You just have to believe in him, and then all will be fine. No, it's clearly a blueprint for how to leave this shit show in the end. When this matrix cycle comes to when the cycle is ending, when the reset is being done. So you basically have to become the hero, the Shiro, the Christ. And you have to go the way of the heart, which is the Jesus way. You have to go the way. And there's nobody walking for you. There's nobody saving you. Yeah, you have to walk the walk, and not only talk the talk, but you have to walk the walk in the end. And that's the anomaly, which is unpredictable for the architect, because he counts on the animalistic nature of the beast suit, which is so strong and which will convince most of the people to go in survival mode and to take the mark and to basically remain his slave. Yeah, try to bring many perspectives on this channel, and I thought this was a perfect time to to talk about this scene in the Matrix. And yeah, I think the Mark of the Beast will come along quite like we saw in 2020 with a syringe, most likely. And it has to be a choice. It has to be a free choice, although it might appear that you don't have a free choice. I heard many people say, "Oh, I didn't want to take it during 2020, the thing, but I was forced to because of my job. I was forced to because of this, because of that, because then I would have been forced to make a sacrifice if I didn't take it. So I basically have been forced to take it, and yeah, these are all excuses. So these were all excuses, and on a subconscious level, they knew they are free to make a choice, but they decided to go along with the program and to stay in their Plato's cave, to stay in their prison. And I think this is what we will see in the part 2 when the mark goes really serious and you are excluded from commerce and from society if you don't take it, because this criteria hasn't been met yet. So I think this will come in a part 2 or in the real finale prior to the real great reset. That's the chance when we can get out of the cycle, can leave the cycle, just like in the Matrix. Those who wanted to be free, the people in Zion, they were granted freedom in the end. So that's what the architect is counting on, that 99% of all the people will choose the meat machine. They believe in the meat machine, and they are staying in their Plato's cave, in their prison, instead of make use of their freedom of choice during the rollout of or the implementation of the mark. They will choose the flesh because it's very strong. And this is exactly what we saw also with the scene, with the cipher scene. So he basically made the choice for the flesh and not for the spirit, and basically he betrayed Neo and the others and basically himself. And he made it clear that he likes the idea of the Matrix and he likes the idea of hierarchy because he wanted to have a position as a famous, I don't know, musicians or artist. And yeah, as a trade-off, he wanted to have a good position in society with money and status. So yeah, he chose the lie and the illusion. He chose death, basically. So that's what the architect is counting on. So yeah, it's indeed a narrow gate, and we have to go all in when this ultimate choice is being set up and when it's implemented and rolled out. Basically, we have to leave the prison suit, the flesh, behind and to be birthed in spirit and to be free of this abusive, sadistic, psychopathic, disgusting hell realm. First and foremost, we have to save ourselves. We cannot influence the choice of the others. If they want to stay in samsara, then it's their choice. We can't make the choice for them. We only can help them if they are willing to leave samsara. Then we can help each other. Though that's my point of view. But we cannot force anyone out of samsara. Yeah. I think everything is said for today, and I try to figure out how to glue this video together, because it's not easy to bring all these thoughts into a order, into a good order.